Hi everyone, Lucy here from Candid Founders, and we're at Spring Fair 2025 with our business Bearkind. Spring Fair is one of the biggest trade shows in the UK at Birmingham NEC, which is a massive conference centre. So they do Spring Fair in February and they do Autumn Fair in September, which is a bit of a smaller show. So this is the biggest one. We were here last year and this is actually our third trade show now. As we're relatively new to trade shows, I've actually optimised for lower cost on stand because trade shows can really add up. They can get really expensive. So I didn't want to spend lots of money on our setup when we weren't sure if it was going to be a long-term strategy for us. So I thought it'd be really useful to jump on today and talk about our stand setup, how much it cost us, what things we've invested in, what has worked, what hasn't worked. So if you're interested in doing trade shows, listen in. If I start on the stand, we've got a 2.5 by 2 metre stand. We wanted a corner because we find that as people walk through, they can see so much more product from all angles. We have done a trade show before where we are in like a box where we have two sides and the front is open, and we just found we were too hemmed in. It's really hard to organise the stand in a way, you're very limited, and we just found that people were just walking past without even looking at us. So the corner stand is much better. This stand cost us £3,000, and then we had to add in extras. So we've got lighting, so you'll see that we've got a floodlight up here, and we've also got a plug down there. So they were extras for electrics. And that was £350 for the plug and the light, which sounds extortionate, but Spring Fair can pretty much charge whatever they want. What I would say is we knew that we needed the lighting because we're trying to floodlight the product. The product is the hero for us, so we really wanted to shine some light on it. We've been at trade shows before where stands don't have lighting and other stands do have lighting, and if you don't have lighting, your stand looks so dark compared to everywhere else. So we didn't really have much choice in the matter. Plug-wise, you might be able to get away with not having a plug. We find that we do a lot of our business on laptops, so for us it would be really difficult to not have a plug. We don't really want to run the risk of running out of juice on our laptops, so the plug was something we went for. But if you're a bit more old school and use paper, clipboards, I've seen a lot of people successfully do that, you might not need to invest in the plug, but consider lighting. This is a floodlight, there's lots of other options. I've seen brands with kind of spotlights, up lighting, down lighting that's a bit softer. This is quite an intense light. When we're sitting under it all day, it gets a bit much. It is very bright, but I think that it still lights up the product. So I think it was worthwhile us investing in that. Just £350 seems like a lot, but it is what it is. And then we've done a few different options each trade show we've done in terms of our seating setup. So our first Spring Fair, we actually won the stand, so we had a table already. I'll link you to the video on how we won that stand for English brands that are watching. We wanted a standing desk, so when we went to Harrogate Home and Gift last year, I bought a massive desk. It was way too big, and it was quite expensive. It was like £150. Big trade show concertina folding thing, and it just took up most of the stand. So that was a mistake. So this year I've invested in a smaller desk. It's still a standing one. It's much more narrow. We can kind of put it in the corner. We like having somewhere to kind of rest our laptop and be. I feel like if you're just standing in the stand with no desk or anything, it's a bit more intimidating. I feel like you need something, but we decided not to have it across the edges because otherwise you're just standing behind it like you're a shopkeeper. So this is a bit more open in this setup. Why I like it being a standing desk with a bar stool so we can still sit down is I'm still able to sit without it being I'm sitting super low. Because if you imagine me sitting low down here when people come in, I just don't think you're very open to conversation, whereas I can kind of perch here, have a conversation with someone and easily get up, walk around, show them the stand. So I believe you don't need to kill yourself and get super tired without sitting and just stand all day. So we like having the stool there with the desk. This desk cost me £38 from Amazon. It was a flat pack. It wasn't as good as IKEA in terms of ease of setup, but we can flat pack it down. It's relatively heavy, but not too bad. One person could carry it. So we'll just flat pack that back down and take it home. So actually this was quite a good investment. Stools, we got a pack of 2 for £30 from Argos or TK Maxx or just any kind of department store. Honestly, they're just plastic and metal. They're cheap and cheerful, but they work. So I recommend that rather than like a low down seat. Okay, so in terms of the wall, I had a piece of advice from someone when I was speaking to people about when we were doing our first trade show, and that is the product is the most important thing. That is the reason people are here. And we have a pretty good product. Like, look at it, it's amazing. Like, so we really wanted to show it off. We wanted that to be the main feature. So we've built this sock wall. It's got better over time as we've kind of learned the kind of dimensions of it. And I'm like really pleased with it. So, and everyone compliments us on it. Retailers replicate it in their own stores as well. And it's so easy to set up. So I've noticed a lot of sock brands at the show will have either peg boards or kind of standing boards with hooks on that like wheel around. And I started looking at that to begin with, but realized they're so heavy. We're just here in our car, like a small car. I have a Honda Jazz, that's all I'm in. So I wanted a super portable method that's like very flexible per stand. So naturally, with something like this, I can replicate this no matter the size of the stand, how many walls we have, the height, length of it, because all it is command strips. So if you have a look here, it's literally just one of these sticky little command strips. Again, I got them off Amazon. I think they're like £5 for a pack of 40, so I'll link you below. But they're super easy to stick on, really easy. And I used to kind of measure it all out. We've actually now got an electric like laser level that we stick on a tripod, and it creates a line that I just follow. And it literally took me about 20 minutes to set this wall up, as opposed to probably an hour the first time I did it. So we've really optimized that for time as well. Another thing that we've optimized on from our first trade show is we've put a few images around the top. Some of the better stands I've seen, and I don't think we've got this nailed yet. Again, as I said, I've kind of done a price optimized setup for this, but I think this is where we could then level up and improve next time, is more imagery like this. We have some amazing, really high quality lifestyle imagery. These are mixed pix tiles. So it's just a sticky magnet that you can put on. So I could easily like move them around as I want to. Super light, they're just like a little foam thing, so super light and portable. £5 per tile. Again, I'll link you below. But that was, again, another really flexible setup for us. We don't have to paint the wall, we don't have to screw anything in. It's all stuck on and it rips off easily without damaging the wall. So again, I've optimized for as easy as possible, as cheap as possible. If we were to do trade shows much longer term, that's where I'd probably invest in possibly painting the walls or like bigger banners and setups. So, you know, there's some really amazing stands here. I don't think we've got the best stand, but I'm really pleased with like how much we've managed to optimize for what we wanted to do. Okay, storage wise for your stand, it's really important that you have storage options, because you will have stuff with you. Like you've got your bags, maybe you've got some lunch. Again, because we're optimizing for cost, we bring packed lunch because it's really expensive here. So, you know, we've stuffed our rucksacks in here. We've also got all our catalogs stored in here. That's our lunch, there we go. Some spare like bits and pieces, spare samples of products. It would look really messy if you just had that lying around the stand. So just consider your storage options. This is just an IKEA Kallax. They're £25 for a block of 2. You can get this as a block of 4, but I'd say, you know, these are, as you see, these are separate. I would say it's better to have the flexibility of being able to split it, because at other trade shows we just used one. We used one vertically. We've lie them side by side. This one we've done as a block. So having them as 2 means we can just do whatever we want with them. Another thing I was looking at for our stand is a way to create levels when we don't really have many levels already. So we've got all our point of sale stands, but I wanted something to put them on. And I was really pleased with these because these are literally just cardboard plinths. So if I just lift this here, you'll see that it's literally, it folds flat, so that kind of wraps around itself to fold flat. And then this is a piece of perspex sheet. All it is cardboard, but the way it's made means it's really strong. So this, you know, this stand is fairly heavy, but it's pretty stable. So it's a way to create levels. So it came in a pack of 5. So this is one of the smaller ones, but if we go over here, you'll see that we've got this larger one. A really simple way of bringing our stand out a little, because this wouldn't work on the floor, it's not big enough. And the other shows, you know, we've got 5, so we've got everything. We've got a bigger one that comes up to about this height, and then we've got smaller ones that are this big, so, you know, if you wanted to, you could put one on here. But I just like that it gives us complete flexibility to build the stand based on the space that we've got. I got these off Alibaba. They were £100 for a set of 5. They're actually advertised for weddings, for like cakes and flowers and stuff, but I get loads of compliments on them. The trade show organisers came around and they loved them, so I think they're a really easy way of creating levels on your stand. They're pretty robust as well. I'd say we haven't done a great job of looking after them in storage, so if you do get something like this, I recommend wrapping it really well because they're still cardboard edges, so you don't really want to have any like rips or anything on them, but you know, they last really well, so I actually recommend these. They're pretty good. All right, the next bit, roller banner. So this actually rolls down. We have 2 of these. We're only using 1. I don't love where it is on this stand. We've just kind of like snuck it in here. So again, it just depends on the layout of your stand. Ideally, I'd want it to have its own space, but we've got one of the smaller stands, so this is where it's going to have to go. It is really important to get your brand in and what your brand does as much as you can. But these banners were amazing quality. It was great service from a UK company, and they were £152 for a set for 2, including shipping. So I was really pleased with those. We use them all the time, like any event that we're doing. We did the John Lewis pop-up, we used them for that. So yeah, they were really well worth the investment. Right, the other natural cost that we have on our stand is for the stock itself, which I won't include in the final total. It's just stock that we have. We use it each time. It's our own stock, and we either keep it at home to use in every trade show. Sometimes we give them away at the end of the trade show if there's any brands around that want to do a bit of a stock swap, but also this can just go back into stock and be sold. So I don't really count the stock in the cost, but the point of sale stands I do. So we have a set of our stands here that we sell to retailers, or they get them for free depending on the size of the order. I always recommend to brands looking to start in point of sale stands. They're a really, really important part of your brand if you're looking to grow in wholesale. It's a way to get your brand in stores and get more marketing out there, have a bit of control about how your stock is displayed, and also retailers really like it. We get asked for them all the time. This particular stand is our smallest one, so we call this the Mini. Just holds 2 designs, or I guess it could hold more behind, but it displays 2 designs, holds a few. Really good for kind of impulse purchases at the checkout. A lot of retailers will start with this one until they understand like if this is a product they're going to stock longer term. So they'll start with this one. And yeah, if you're looking at point of sale stands, you don't need to start with a whole suite. I'll show you the rest now, but we've built up to this suite. So you don't need to start with everything. We started with this. And even actually before this, we had cardboard ones. So we started cheap, we started light, and we've progressed to kind of something higher quality, longer term. Okay, so for the rest of the suite of point of sale stands, this is the next level up from the mini stands. Holds about 84 pairs of socks. It's a really good just double-sided stand. A lot of retailers like this one. Tend to mix and match as well. So we've got lots of retailers that have, maybe they have the mini at checkout, then they have this one like elsewhere in their store. But then we go in onto the bigger versions. I showed you before the spinning stand. This also holds 84 pairs, but it's spinning. Again, retailers really like this one because it is much more flexible. So the double-sided stand is good if you have the space for someone to walk around it. This is great to put in a corner or if you're not gifted with space. And then if you are gifted with space, we have larger stands. So this is the penultimate stand, our floor standing unit. This holds a whopping 480 pairs. So what's amazing about this is we get a lot of retailers that just want the whole shebang in one go. They say, yep, I'll take the stand, I'll fill it. Once they have that in their store, it doesn't look very good if you don't fill it. So if you take a bunch of stock out of it, like so, and it was like looking a bit bare, it looks rubbish. You need to fill it. So it's actually really good from a restocking point of view because the retailer needs to keep it stocked. So we love selling these stands. And we've actually, although we don't have it here, we have another stand coming, which is like a wall one. So much taller, goes flat against the wall. And that will hold 360 pairs. So actually not as much as this one because this is double-sided, but we're trying to replicate for our retailers who want to do the sock wall and have something flat against their wall in their store. So cost-wise, obviously these are an asset to our brand. So we just have these for every trade show, but all in it's about £550 for all of the point of sale stands that we have here. So actually a bit more of an expensive investment on our stand, but 100% worth it because it's showing retailers how to display the product, that we have the point of sale options. So this one's £300 for a retailer to buy and they get it for free over a certain size. The double-sided and the spinner are both £100 each and the mini is £50. So they're high quality, FSC certified wood, made in the UK. These are high quality, more expensive stands, but our retailers love them. And of course, print collateral, extremely important at a trade show. Don't even bother spending thousands on the stand for a trade show if you're not going to do catalogues or business cards or anything like this. We got 100 printed for £225, which is quite a lot to be honest, but we didn't want to do a massive print run. So obviously the more you print, the cheaper they are. We were also doing them fairly last minute, so I had to spend a bit more to get them in time. But people really like these and are always asking for them. I'd say that we've learned learned that we were being a bit stingy with handing them out before, and then we ended up having some left over. Our attitude now is we want to get rid of all of them. We want to sell out, as it were, of the catalogue. So we're giving them out to anyone that wants them. And business cards as well. I actually find that business cards are one that people will just grab and like run off, which I don't really have a problem with. They're super cheap. We've had these for a while, so I bought maybe 500. They're definitely less than 10p each. You need them. People want your business card with a contact on it. We just put our wholesale inbox on it. It's funny how many people ask for our not personal, but like our business emails. They say, is this your email? I want to speak directly to you. But we've got to the point where we don't necessarily want everyone coming into our direct business email. We have a team inbox, so we direct everyone there. Unless it's a different opportunity, we might give them our personal email, but the wholesale inbox is where we want to direct everyone. So if you found this video useful, you will find the rest of our channel really, really handy for your business. We spend a lot of time giving brands guidance on how to grow their business, specifically on Fair Marketplace, as well as things like trade shows and other aspects of your business. We've also got lots of free advice on our website. We've got a free ebook that you can download that will give you all the tips you need to grow on Fair in 2025. So head to candidfounders.com where you can download it for free. So this was another thing we invested in this trade show, because actually there's a lot of potential clients at this show. So we wanted to have some flyers to give out to people. We have actually had people that watch the YouTube channel come and visit us. So if you have done, thank you. So good to see you in person. These were, again, I got these from the same place as the catalogues. I'll link it below. A company called Printworks. It was £75 for 500. So these are a lot cheaper than the catalogues, but the catalogues are about 24 pages long. They're like printed and bound. So these are a lot cheaper. So if you want flyers for your business as well, that is also an option. So that is our trade show stand. Overall, it's cost us £4,714. That includes the stand itself, the lighting, the plugs, all of this setup as I described, and I gave you the breakdown of costs in the video. So it's quite a substantial amount, but also I think that's possibly the cheapest you could do a trade show for, considering the stand costs £3,000. You also do have to consider food, accommodation. We've slummed it in an Airbnb down the road for £60 a night, so we are going as cheap as possible. We're making our own food. We're trying not to eat out as much. So overall, with that included as well, and petrol for travel, we think that's about £5,200 for kind of Saturday to Wednesday night. And of course, as classic business owners, we haven't been accounting for our time. So we're out of the business for 5 days, if not more, with travel. So it is a lot of time and money spent on the business. So I hope you found this video useful. If you've got any questions about a trade show or anything else I've talked about in this video, please drop them in the comments. And don't forget, we can help brands like yours grow on Fair Marketplace. So get in touch at hello@candidfounders.com or check out the services we offer at candidfounders.com. Please subscribe to our channel to get weekly content that will help you and your business grow. And I'll see you in the next video.